Well, the coffee sound check worked. Awesome sauce. Good morning, everyone. We're hunkered down in the Al Red Sox fan bunker. We've had our 15 minutes of rest. All I can say is, wow, what an unbelievable ball game. As joining us in the chat from New York is Fandom D Saint. Check out that wonderful channel. He's kind enough to come moderate when he has opportunities in my chat. Greatly appreciated. All things pop culture, movies, and TV. Well, that was an unbelievable ball game. And congrats to the Dodgers fans and the Dodgers team for the 3-2 victory in 18 innings. But, and no buts with the Dodgers, I have a few issues with some of the things in the game. Shocking, isn't it? Fun game. I enjoyed the pitching. I really did. It was really fun to watch good pitching. The team I loved and root for since I was a child comes out in the short end of the stick. Oh well, that happens. That happens. You know. And again, I'm coming off my 15-minute nap. No, I had a couple hours of sleep. I finally hit the hay, and I listened to the end of the game because I was exhausted. My dad, God bless him, he watched that whole thing. And again, I should have just sat up and watched it, but I was hoping to change the mojo, go in my room, turn the radio on, give him that old luck or something. Didn't work as Muncy hit the game-winning homer off Eovaldi, who deserved much better. Eovaldi pitched his butt off. It was incredible. And let's just get to it real quick. And if you want to, feel free to share your thoughts. Again, congratulations to the Dodgers now for their 3-2 victory. As that's not right. I got to change that eventually. As Baseball Demo says, "What's up, Mary Hart? How are you, my friend? Thank you for joining us. I got to change the title. It should be 3-2. I just woke up, people. I'm not even done with my first cup of coffee. Dodgers won 3-2. I will fix that later. I apologize for that. I don't know how many of you guys actually sat up and watched the whole game. And to calm my nerves, I actually rolled a dice baseball game last night while listening. And I know when good things happen or bad things, I can hear my dad in the other room. So let's just go through it real quick. Again, a few issues with some of the strike calls, but the ump was consistent for both teams. But I have a big issue, and I'll get to that very shortly. Let's just go through some of the box score here. Nathan Eovaldi went 6 innings out of the pen. He threw for 3 consecutive games, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Only one of them was earned, the walk-off homer by Muncy. Unbelievable effort by Nathan Eovaldi and the Boston Red Sox pitching staff. Same thing with Buehler was incredible for the Dodgers. When Sandy Koufax gives you a standing ovation after your 7 innings, this is Buehler. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. That's what I'm talking about. That is a quality, outstanding start. That is a start. None of this 4 1/3 nonsense, you know? But anyway, great pitching from both teams. Johnny B. Crazy's jumped in the chat. Check out that wonderful channel, All Things Entertainment. And I forgot, Baseball Demo is a wonderful retro sports card and dice channel. He's doing a Mark Fidrich replay, which is absolutely outstanding. Anything that Baseball Demos does is outstanding, as well as Fandom D Saint and Johnny B. Crazy. A lot of people are going to be streaming Red Dead Redemption, as everyone in America has got that game. I might pick that up today. I digress. Shocking that Al Red Sox fan digresses. All right. Again, Porcello got the start, went 4 2/3. He gave up the home run. Was it Jock Peterson? I believe it was Mr. Peterson, who Porcello gave the home run up. Yep, Jock Peterson. It's been everything's just a mind meld, as they would say in Star Trek. Jock Peterson homered in the third, 1-0, and that held up. That held up until the top of the eighth, and Jackie Bradley Jr. homers off the Dodger closer, Kenley, and it's 1-1, and we'll go from there in a moment. It's unbelievable. As Johnny B. Crazy says, he just subbed Baseball Demos. Well, thank you very much. That's a great channel. Again, we have a lot of diversity in our community. We have retro gameplay. We have entertainment talk with movies and TV. We have video gameplay. It's a community that welcomes all, as long as you're not a dink. As long as you're a decent human being, you're pretty much welcomed, and we support everyone in the community. Manny's in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Hope all is well. Good to see you. All right, let's get back to, again, I'm on my 15 minutes of sleep. Let's get back to the game here. So let's go through the pitching. And again, absolutely outstanding, well-pitched game for both teams. We had a crazy 13th inning, which I had to admit, I thought the Red Sox had won it by then, but they didn't. It was old school suffering for Red Sox fans last night, which was kind of not fun. I don't like old school suffering. So Rick Porcello, the Red Sox starter, went 4 2/3, as I stated, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. The homer to Peterson, walked 1, struck out 5. He was followed by Eddie Rodriguez, who got the final out in the 5th. I think Rodriguez, I don't know if they've announced it, I haven't checked. I think Rodriguez is going to be the starter for tonight's game. He struck out the batter he faced. Then Kelly won an inning, gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Brazier an inning, he struck out 1. Barnes an inning, got a little antsy there at times, but he did strike out 2. Price came in, pitched 2/3, and that was in the 9th, and they picked off Jock. I think it was Bellinger. They picked off at first. Again, there's a lot of bad base running and sloppy fielding in a well-pitched game for both teams. That was, it was an intense, fun game. I mean, that's baseball. That's the way it should be. We had sloppy base running, though. As Chris Anderson has joined us in the chat. As he says, Eddie or Drew starts tonight. Chris, I would go with Rodriguez, with Drew being the backup plan. That's what I would do. I have some issues. We're going to get to it. I have issues. I'll get to it a little more, but you don't start Benintendi, fine. I don't agree with that. You get Martinez in the lineup, fine. Okay, Mitch Moreland, I don't care what the stats said in the beginning. He goes, he's batting .364, I think, in the postseason. That was all prior to him hurting his leg. He has done nothing since then. I get it. Righty-lefty thing. Nonsense. I told this to Chris at work. I said, I don't understand why J.D. Martinez, throughout the year, I know they're not going to do it now, did not take some ground balls at first base for a situation like this. Okay? Wouldn't you rather have, if J.D. Martinez, first base is not a difficult position to learn. Most catchers learn how to play first base later in their career. Johnny Bench, so on and so forth. Vasquez was out there, did a fine job. We'll get to Ian Kinsler, who would not see the light of day on my team unless I absolutely had to play him. He had all day in the world to throw that ball after. But that's a little farther down in our little stream here. All right, so you don't play Benintendi. Once you pinch hit Benintendi, you must keep him in the game to play left. Not only is a top-notch defender who has saved the day for you in the playoffs on quite a few occasions, but he's a good bat. Again, I don't get that. You don't want to start, why they didn't think of, hey, maybe Martinez, especially coming down the stretch, and you know you're making the playoffs, but even throughout the year, why don't we play? David Ortiz played first, my friends. David Ortiz. You don't think J.D. Martinez can play first? And then you don't break up your possibly 3 Gold Glove outfielders? And to see Fox Sports put up Mitch Moreland's batting .364. He's done nothing since his early playoffs because he got hurt. He's done nothing, and he did nothing last night. All right? If it was me, JD Martinez, and you can ask Chris Anderson, I was talking about it in the chat. MP Fox, thank you for joining us. As MP Fox says, I have issues. I love the stats of baseball. However, completely relying on sabermetrics is doom. I agree. I agree. I agree. As SNFS says, good morning. Good morning. And I'm happy for the Dodgers. I wanted the Red Sox to win. I'm not saying, but it was, to see Sandy Koufax was awesome, and then to see Sandy Koufax give Buehler, as the rest of the Dodgers fans and Buehler deservedly so, a standing ovation. That's pitching, my friends. That's pitching. That was awesome. And again, I was playing a little dice game to try to calm my nerves because I'm really into this World Series. And that was fun. And we had quite a few people for my little dice game. We had fun with that. And if you hate the Red Sox, the '86 Mets beat them. But I don't get it. Once you pin again, and I'm going to get back to it. Those are the things that stick in my head, and then I'll give my Ian Kinsler rant. Again, would not see the light of day unless I had to play him. All day in the world. Yasiel Puig was just barely halfway down the first base line. I get it. He slipped. I get it. But you know what? If you can't make the throw, baseball's a thinking game. The next guy up's hitting 205. And I'm not talking about people like the announcers. Are they going to walk Puig? Are you out of your mind? We're not going to walk Puig. You let Eovaldi go right at him, which he did. And he had him out. Ian Kinsler with, again, his legs slipped. I understand that. But he had all day. Reset yourself. That was awful. That part was awful. That was the strangest inning of baseball ever. We'll get to the wild and wacky 13th after that. But Buehler was absolutely outstanding. He went 7. Jansen blew the save. JBJ, Jackie Bradley Jr. hits another. Again, he doesn't hit much when it comes to average, but when he hits, it seems like it's all out important. Unbelievable. Because Bradley, in the top of the 8th, homers to tie the ball game. And then we had some more sloppy base running. And I want to say it was Bellinger, the center fielder, was thrown out. He got picked off. You can't, if you're a Dodgers fan or a baseball fan or whatever, you can't tie game, bottom of the 9th, leadoff runner on. You cannot get picked off on a 3-2 count. Great job by Price and the rest of the Red Sox on that. So let me go to the chat real quick as I'm ranting away. And it's not all about me. In fact, it's not even about me. Let's see. I think I read this one. MP Fox, great points, Alan Martinez. Baseball demos, kudos to anyone who stayed up. Mary Hart was a nut. I listened to the end of it on the radio, trying to give a little better mojo. Baseball demos, JBJ, local Virginia boy. As Chris Anderson, he knows it. It's all about Red Sox fan now. SNFS. Anyone having a problem with daytime World Series games? I'm glad it's not a daytime game for both teams today. That would have been, imagine that. If they had a daytime game, say even at 4 o'clock, unbelievable. So, as Chris says, as it should be. We got some wild weather coming our way, Christopher, they said, here in the great state of Massachusetts. All right, so Bradley ties it up on the homer. We have some bad base running in the 9th. You can't get picked off there. But we also had, and I need to go back, I want to say it's when Kinsler is thrown out on the tag up by Bellinger. Could have been, I have to go back to, I don't remember exactly who got picked off. I'm not going to go through all the plays, but in the inning that Ian gets thrown out at the plate, and that was a great throw as Bellinger, the center fielder, made a nice job making the catch, setting himself up so he could throw properly to home. He did throw it up the line third base side, which the catcher made a nice play in the tag. But my God, Ian Kinsler, I keep calling him Kellinger because I'm so pissed at him. Ian Kinsler, they sent him. I would not have sent him. I would not have sent him. I said it right then. You got to make sure he scores. You got to make sure he scores. I'll take 2 outs and a runner at third. But that's the least of my Ian Kinsler rants, and that wasn't his fault. So that was we had some really great defensive plays, some really weird running plays, some absolutely bizarre defensive plays by Nunez. Here's my question to the chat. When he made the catch in the 13th, I thought he could have stopped before he went in the stands. Now, I've watched it several thousand times. His knee is hurt, or, he's got issues with his leg. I see how he spins, I think, to avoid the contact with the wall. But I thought he could have stopped, But he made a great catch. And a great running play. Christ, who tagged up on that? That was awesome by the Dodgers. As Chris Anderson in the chat says, Kinsler killed them, as did Betts and Bogaerts. Yeah, the pitching was awesome. But again, here's my point. And again, I was talking with Chris at work yesterday. Why not during the year is Martinez not, especially, my God, coming down the stretch? And I asked Chris, a very knowledgeable baseball fan, Chris Anderson. I said, I thought he played a little first base earlier in his career. And Chris said yes. So I will take Chris at his word. And it just would have made so much sense. Again, that pissed me off, the Mitch Moreland thing, and they throw up that stat. I knew they were going to do that too. 364. He hasn't done anything since that brief spurt, and he's hurt. I get it. But come on, Cora. Seriously. And I'm not blaming Cora. I do blame him when you pinch hit Benintendi and you don't leave him in the game. To me, that's absolutely asinine. You didn't want to start him. You broke up your Gold Glove outfield. And no one hit. I get that. No one hit. All right. So let's just get to it. There's a lot of great pitching, good defense, and some really sloppy, lazy base running. You had Manny Machado, no shock there, should have been on second on that ball hit. I don't remember the exact inning. Vasquez on a sinking line drive when the Dodger left fielder made the diving attempt. He should have been on second possibly. And he just had a lot of sloppy base running. As Baseball Demo says, who starts game 4, Rodriguez or Pomeranz or Sale on 3 days rest? I definitely don't go Sales on 3 days rest. I don't even bring him out of the pen. I go Rodriguez. He pitched to one batter, and I want to say I think it was 9 pitches, 7 pitches, 6. He pitched to one batter. I go with Rodriguez. With Pomeranz, backing him up. I don't have much faith with that. Manny says, Bellinger gets picked off. Thank you. And that's bad base running. You can't do that. And Jackie Bradley Jr. got picked off, and that's when Vasquez hit that sinking line drive. It would have been first and third, maybe, or second and third. Or who knows, maybe he makes the catch because Bradley's on base. I don't know. But Manny says, if Kinsler knocks the catcher out while running, is he out anyways? No. I'm not an expert on the rule, but because the catcher was technically impeding him from the plate, I think you can run into the catcher there. Had the throw been up the first baseline, he scores. I don't know. I mean, even when the ball was hit, that's tough when you're watching immediately, but I said, when I saw the ball hit, and I think I was actually listening at the time. I was listening, and I turned because I heard my dad, so I saw the replay. So my feeling, again, I'm seeing it after. So I didn't see it live, but seeing it after, the third base coach made the decision to send him. The throw from center fielder Bellinger, I don't know if it's Bellinger, I'm sorry. He set himself up nicely to throw to the plate. He threw it up the third base line. So, and he made the tag. As Ryan Mata joins us in the chat. How are you, Ryan? He says, I'm getting flashbacks of Kinsler doing Kinsler things. Yeah, that was not good. Chris says Kinsler would be out if he did that. Even if the catcher's impeding his way, that's a rotten rule. I don't like the rule. You should be able to bowl over the catcher. I'm sorry about what happened to, I think it was the Giants catcher, the very good catcher, and I can't think of his name right now. I can see him when he broke his leg at a collision on the plate. But that's part of baseball. Don't take the contact out of the game. As you saw, good hard slides by the Dodgers, breaking up double plays. That was a good slide into second. That Bogaerts again. I was actually playing my dice baseball, and I turned. They teach turning the second, the double play, in my opinion, all wrong. Never come across the bag. Never step on the bag. Move towards the pitcher's mound and pivot your body. That's the way. Again, I didn't play Major League Baseball. I know that. Went as far as Legion Ball, but I mean, I had coaches tell me I was doing it wrong. Guess what? I never got spiked, and we turned double plays. So I didn't agree with my high school coach. Refused when I played shortstop. I was a utility guy. I played a lot of the infield, a lot of the outfield. I refused to play it the way, and as long as I kept making the plays when I got in there, they didn't say boo. Again, there are times you do come across the bag because of the throw, but Buster Posey, thank you, Baseball Demos. And I think that rule is an awful rule. Again, I'm sorry he broke his leg, but that's, it's a contact play. As Chris says, catcher wasn't impeding, had the ball. Right, but Ken, I'm not saying, he's in front of the plate. Kinsler went around him. I don't think he would have been able to knock the ball out anyway, just because of the way the throw was in the location. So that was, again, that's Monday morning quarterback on my part. But watching the replay, I guess you take a shot there, but I'd rather have a guy on third. There are other times they don't take the shot, and I shake my head. So if they had won, would I still complain about that? Yeah, I probably would. So let's get to so Jansen blows a save. Jackie Bradley Jr., when he gets a hit, they've been huge in this postseason. Obviously, he's been he won the American League Championship MVP with 9 ribbies and batting under 200. But I'll take it. So we get to that 13th inning, which was one of the most bizarre innings of baseball I have ever seen in my life. It was just wow. And I don't think I went through the Dodgers pitching, as I really want to get to that 13th inning. So again, Buehler outstanding. 7 innings, deserved the win, didn't get it. Struck out 7, only 2 hits, no runs. Jansen blows a save, 2 innings on the Bradley homer. 1 hit, obviously the run, the home run, and 2 strikeouts. Baez, 2 innings. He walked 2, struck out 1. Madsen, a third of an inning. Alexander, an inning. And he gave up that run in that bizarre 13th inning. And let's get to that. That was one of the strangest 13 innings I have ever seen, or any inning of baseball in my life. To have 2 teams basically score identically in the same inning was wild. And again, Kinsler, who I've been calling Killingzer, because he would not see the light of day. He would not see the light of day unless I had to absolutely play him. And we might, because Bogaerts seemed like he had a little leg thing going. He might have tweaked a hammy. So in the 13th, Brock Holt gets on, advances to second on a wild pitch that the catcher blocks, and then he basically knocks over Nunez to get to the ball, which that was sort of funny. And Nunez rolling around on the ground like a soccer player. Kinsler or Colts? I want neither, MP Fox. I want neither. And then Nunez hits a ground ball to the right side that the Dodgers, the first baseman went for, the pitcher went for, and then the second baseman tried to cover first. Nunez is in there safely on an infield hit, but the bad throw allows Brock Holt to score. As Baseball Demo says in the chat, Kinsler makes you appreciate all those years of Pedroia. Yeah, and he's usually a pretty decent defender, but I'm not very. I'll get to that. I have a rant coming about that. And again, no player wants to make the bad play. I understand that. I'm just saying he had all day to throw Puig out at first. And even if he didn't think he could make the throw, you have to know, eat the ball. There's the guy coming up, I believe was a catcher, Barnes. He's batting 205. Not saying that he ends up flying out. Again, I'm not saying he would fly out first and third, 2 outs. We don't know. We didn't get to that. He flew out afterwards, the tying run scored. But you got to know, Kinsler has been, and Chris Anderson, we've discussed it at work. We're not really happy with Ian Kinsler. And this is prior to early this morning's game. So the Red Sox go up. Eovaldi's on the mound. Now, I thought he had the guy struck out, but the ump had a his strike zone was consistent for both teams because both teams were mad. And it wasn't a bad job of umping. Actually, that was a check swing, excuse me. The third base ump, I thought the guy went around. I'm sorry about that. I thought he went around. They didn't give it. I see the replay. I still think he went around, but they didn't give it. Okay. Eovaldi bears down. He gets the 2 outs. When Nunez did make they were shifted way over to the right. Nunez comes over on the pop-up to the left side near the stands. He makes the catch. I've watched the play over and over again. I know his legs are hurting. He spins his body. I thought he could have stopped. Again, I don't know his momentum. He makes a great catch. He goes into the stands, and he tosses the ball back out into the field of play, which there's some rule or something that Dave Roberts, who is not a good manager. If you're a Dodgers fan, I have to agree with Chris Anderson. He is not a good manager. Talk about, I think MP Fox brought it up, and I think it was about the sabermetrics. The nonsense is righty, lefty, this guy does it. Oh my God, it's baseball, people. Yes, you need stats, like MP Fox said. But seriously, if you don't get a feel for the game, wow. And everyone makes mistakes. Players, coaches, managers. But really, I don't think, and I love Dave Roberts as a Red Sox fan, but watching him manage in the playoffs and here, I mean, he's just, as Chris Anderson, he's by the book. And, he's just, to think that you don't put, when they kept talking about it before Game 3, how you didn't have your best hitters in the lineup to start just because of the righty-lefty sabermetrics nonsense. That's nuts to me. That's just nuts. So Nunez makes the catch, and the runner at first, let me try to remember. I'm horrible with names. Was it Muncy who was at first? Let's just go back to plays here. I just have to see who scores in the 13th. Max Muncy, he tags up. That was really a heads up play. He tags up. He goes to second. Okay. So we get the 2 outs. He's at second. Ground ball up the middle. Pass Eovaldi. Now, Kinsler makes a nice play ranging to his left. I'm thinking ball game over. All right. I even said ball game over out loud when my dad and I were watching the game. We're like, ball game over. Now, again, he slips. The grass comes out from under him. I get that. He had all day to throw to first. Puig was barely halfway down the line because it's Yasiel Puig. And again, he ran hard afterward, but he's halfway down the line. Reset yourself and throw to first. Or if you don't think you can make the throw, just eat the ball. You can't do that. What is with, we see it from Nunez, who has that weird sidearm throw, but what is with guys with that whole, I'm going to make this great falling down throw? He's not even near Christian Vasquez at first, who had no opportunity to block that ball. And scoring from second is Muncy. Again, heads up to Muncy. Dodger base running there was good. Again, both teams, they lack stuff on the base back. I've watched the Red Sox. The Red Sox are not a good base running team. I don't care what anyone. They make the stupidest mistakes at times. And as I've witnessed, the Dodgers do the same thing. And I never want to see them sacrifice bunt ever again, the Red Sox. Again, that was the right call in that inning. And a great play by the pitcher for the Dodgers, who hopped on that and went to third to get the force out later on in the game. So Kinsler, again, could have reset his feet, thrown to first, got the third out, ball game over, Red Sox win 2-1. Nope. He decides to do that whole, let me go falling down and flip the ball towards first. You have to know, you're a veteran player. One, I keep saying it, if you don't think you can make the play at first, you've done your job, you kept the ball out of the outfield, first and third, 2 outs, you have a 200 hitter coming up. Because the Fox announcers were like, oh, do you walk Puig to pitch to Burns? No. In hindsight, I still say no. I have faith in Eovaldi. Eovaldi's earning himself a ton of money as long as his arm doesn't fall off during these playoffs. I hope he's back with the Red Sox. I don't think he will be, but I hope so. Again, pitching for both teams absolutely outstanding. Eovaldi obviously does give up the homer to Muncy, who ironically, right, a few innings earlier almost hit a homer down the line. And they interviewed him after the game. I watched it this morning. He said, yeah, I was looking cutter in, or whatever the pitch. I think it was a cutter, and he hits the homer, and the ball game's over. Again, congrats to him and the Dodgers fans. But Ian Kinsler would not see the light of day for me unless I had to absolutely play him. I just don't get it. I don't understand that. We had a tale of all kinds of weird things happen in this game. Tale of 15 cities. Great pitching. That was awesome to see. I wanted the Red Sox to win, but to watch Buehler and listen to it, outstanding. He's the Red Sox nightmare. He knows how to pitch. He's not just going to wing up a fastball. He was outstanding. Again, when Sandy Koufax Muncy did tag up. Chris, you're missing the point. How does he get second? Fielder out of play? They never mentioned that, but you are an ump. But he did go back to tag up. To me, it's still heads up base running. They never said fielder out of play because I think they wanted him to go to third on that. That's why Roberts went to question the umpires, I believe. But you ump. So you're saying, Chris, that it's an automatic. Had he not tagged up, I want to understand. I just wanted, because they didn't bring it up. Okay, see, they didn't bring that up. That's a good point, Chris. I did not know that. So you're saying even if he did not tag up, fielder out of play. Which, see, when Roberts came out to talk to the umps, that's what I thought he was talking about. That he wanted him to go to third for fielder out of play, as I put it. I still think it's heads up. Okay, you're saying he would have got there anyway. It's an interesting point. They didn't bring that up. He went back to tag up, so I understand you now, Chris. I got you, my friend. Yeah, because that's what I thought Roberts was discussing. And man, did you hit that out of the ballpark, Chris, about Dave Roberts? He not a good manager. Not a good manager. I think a lot of these managers, as MP Fox says, yep, the ball is considered dead when he goes out of play. Okay. Now, anyone who watched the game, did they ever mention that on Fox? I'm almost positive they did not. Because my thought process was Roberts came out to say, hey, he should have third base because of fielder out of play. But I did not realize, Chris umps, so he knows the rules. I will definitely take his word for that. I don't know. So even if he catches the ball in play, in the field of play, once you go out of play, it's one base. Am I understanding that correctly? Chris says, I was laughing. They didn't even know the rule. I know because, again, my thought process was third base. But they never mentioned that because I thought, whoa, out of play. But again, I didn't think, because I kept thinking, oh my God, the guy's going to tag up and go first to second. But Chris is saying it's an automatic. And I know people like Joe Buck, and Smoltzy. They're not horrid, but they're not my favorite announcer. Again, baseball's a very tribal sport, we'll say, when it comes to fans. You like your announcers. You get used to your hometown announcers. But they never mentioned that. And Chris confirms it as he says, I was laughing. Because I'm sitting, again, my thought process was Roberts is coming out to say he should be standing at third. So, but Chris is saying tag up or no tag up, the proper interpretation of the rule would have been he gets second base anyway. And that's good stuff from our chat there. MP Fox also says, yep, the ball is considered dead when he goes out of play. Again, I'll throw it out to the chat again. Do you think that Nunez could have stopped and not gone out of play? I get it. It looked like he was trying to protect his knees. But there's sometimes I question some of the rolling around aspects of Nunez. He reminds me of a soccer player sometimes. Chris Anderson, Rule 7.04C. If a fielder falls out of play, ball is dead, each runner advances one base. Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher Anderson. Greatly appreciate that. Hope your mom and dad are doing well. And that's how we get the whole Kinsler fiasco at second. I think MP Fox, you're a Dodgers fan, I believe. What are your thoughts on some of their players and, to me, a lack of hustle and just bad base running? And the Red Sox are guilty of it, too. Benintendi a game or so ago. I don't think it's lack of hustle on player. Machado's lack of hustle. Puig could be lack of hustle. Sometimes players have brain farts. But Machado's definitely, he's already admitted he doesn't like to run out what he considers normal balls. And he should have been standing on second on a ball that hits the wall. So MP Fox is Dodgers fan for 1 week. Oh, I get it. A Red Sox hater. Chris Anderson said, I thought he couldn't stop long run bad knees. Yeah, because I've watched it over, and he purposely turns his body just so his knees will not hit the sidewall. MP Fox. But lack of hustle bothers me. My son and I were talking about the whole aspect of this morning. You guys should do a video on that. Check out MP Fox. He does wonderful videos with his son. Chris Anderson. Thought they should have sent him on Leon's double in the corner. Yes, that's my other point. Again, you don't get the proper angle. But once that ball, see, again, that's my point of sometimes I think you shouldn't send him, and other times, again, baseball fans, we all think that way. But that's my point. The ball, the double down in the corner, I'm sending Leon. I'm sending Nunez. Again, they know how his legs feel, but you have to make two good throws there. Puig got to the ball fairly decently, throws back in pretty quick, but I'm going to roll the dice there. Because they have to make two good throws to the plate. And if the cutoff man lets that Puig ball go through, that's up the line first base side. And we never got the good angle to see where Nunez was. But my first thought, I was screaming, thank you for bringing that up, Chris, screaming at the television when that ball's down the line, send him, send him, send him. Because is it Evaldi? Is it Evaldi up next after? Or was it Moreland? They were so but that's a great point. That was you got to force the play at the plate. Yes. See, that one I agree with because it was extra innings. Everyone's tired. And you got to make two good throws, in my opinion. MP Fox. But Machado and Puig, as great of players as they are, lazy. It is like when Tim Beckham and BJ Upton down there. They would drive me nuts by their lack of running plays out. Well, Machado, you cannot be happy if you're a Dodgers fan. Machado should be standing at second on a ball that hits the wall. Betts was up. That's right. Betts was up next, and they walked him. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. They walked him. Yeah, that one. That's the one. I'm glad you brought it up because I said there's a play where I thought they should send him, and Kinsler again. watching the replay, it's hindsight. It just the center fielder. Excuse me, as my cold just comes back. I can't shake this freaking thing. I get better for a couple of days, and pardon me. Bogarts dribbled. Yep, ended the 13th to end the 13th. That would have been huge. That would have been huge. But again, hats off to the Dodgers. The pitching was outstanding. I think that made me extremely happy to see good pitching once again in baseball. Now it's done in a weird way for the Red Sox. Porcello only went 4 2/3. They pulled him. As MP Fox says, great to spend some time here with you finally, Al. But gotta check out and get ready for Little League. Take care, y'all, and hopefully catch you soon. Thank you very much, MP Fox. Check out that channel. MP Fox, him and his son talking some baseball. And good luck at Little League. Fall ball it has to be. So then the game just keeps going on and on and on. And with each inning, take care, Phantom D Saint. With each inning, it gets more and more intense because you're especially when Muncy hits that deep fly ball down the right field line. I'm thinking, well, Eovaldi, you did a great job, but you're going to lose. And Muncy again had the interview after the game. He homered. He goes, I was looking for that pitch, and he got it. Nathan Eovaldi, if his arm does not fall off, has earned himself a ton of money in free agency. As Chris Anderson said, Cora made a lot of mistakes that game. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Thank you, Phantom D Saint, for stopping by. Jake Cruz, how are you, my friend? I'm sorry I missed you. Everyone's saying bye to Broke. Chris, what are your thoughts? I get it. You don't start. I don't get it. I mean, but okay, so he doesn't start Benintendi. But once you pinch hit, don't you think you have to keep Andrew Benintendi in the game to play left? You have to. You have to. Again, Martinez, in my book, would have been taking ground balls at first all throughout the year. All throughout the year. As Jake Cruz says, he's not doing bad. How about yourself? I'm okay. Just battling this freaking cold for like 2.5, 3 weeks. It comes and goes. But anyway, Chris says exactly. I don't get that, Chris. I really don't. I'm not happy they didn't start him. But okay, you didn't start him. You want Martinez in the lineup who didn't do anything. Again, obviously no one did anything for the Red Sox and pretty much the Dodgers. The pitching was outstanding. It was a pleasant game to watch when it comes to pitching. Base running was a little shoddy for both teams. Fielding was a little shoddy at times, but we also saw some really good plays. But the pitching was marvelous, just absolutely great. I don't get that. I really don't get that. If Benintendi pinch hits, he has to stay in the game and play left. Has to. Chris Anderson. Made no sense because then Vasquez ends up at first, Holt in the outfield, Kinsler at second, and had a huge effect. Absolutely. Had you kept Benintendi in the game, Holt stays at second, and more. You're right. There's not that whole. Sometimes a bit of overman, and you again. It's not like Andrew Benintendi is awful. He's very good. His glove has helped you get to the playoffs, to the World Series, and he hits pretty good. He had a big walk, and then in the last game, when Pierce walked with the bases loaded, he didn't get it, and he played outstanding defense. I don't get it. JD Martinez again. Here, because Sports Talk Radio loves to say you didn't play the game at a professional level. Al, Red Sox fan, and everyone in the chat, you guys didn't play the game at a professional level. You can play Martinez at first. Now, I'm not saying now, it's too late, but he should have been taking ground balls at first. What's easier to play, first base or the outfield? First base. Believe me, first base. Christy Henderson in the chat. Took Martinez and Benny out of the lineup, made no sense. Now you have neither one. Exactly. And I think Fox actually mentioned that when they said they had no big bats left in their lineup. Beside Mookie Betts. Devers comes out, but I don't get it. The big issue I have with Cora, when You pinch hit Benintendi. He's got to stay in the play left. He's got to stay in the play left. It's a stupid, and I hope he's called out about it. And I like Cora, but you got to have Benintendi staying in play left. I want to see the outfield as the outfield today. I really do. I really do. And if they come with that same lineup and they don't have Benintendi in it, okay, you saw, unless J.D. Martinez has phenomenal numbers against the pitcher today, guess what? You're the pinch hitter. You had plenty of opportunity. You did nothing. That's another thing. He pulled Porcello to me quite early. I agree. That's the other thing I wanted to bring up. I forget things. And thank you, Chris. Benny, Martinez, Rodriguez too early. Well, Rodriguez will. If I was setting the lineup, Rodriguez is pitching. Benintendi's in. I have my normal outfield. Unless you want to play Mookie Betts at second. I think they'll be fearful of playing Mookie Betts at second, as you've seen the Dodgers on the base pad sliding into second, extremely aggressive, and rightfully so. This is the World Series. No qualms with that. I don't think that slide was dirty. Did he bring his leg up a bit? Yeah, he did. He's trying to break up a double play. His initial thought was to get out of the way, but then he realized he was close enough to make the slide. If you see that runner on the play who goes into Bogarts, he's heading. He's more towards the pitcher side of the base running path, and then he realizes he can get to second base in time to put a good hard slide on, and he does. At the very last second, he lifts his leg up just a little bit, but that's baseball. You're going to try to break up the double play. Can't score. Kinsler sucks. Betts goes to second for me today. I would do that. Kinsler's giving you nothing. Moreland, again, I like all the Red Sox players, even Kinsler, okay? I'm just saying, I knew they were going to come with that stat with Moreland. Once I saw him in the game, I go, they're going to say he's hitting 3-something. He hasn't done crap since he's got hurt. Am I wrong, Christopher Anderson? Now, granted, he hasn't played either, but every time he's come up, he's basically done nothing. Who would you rather have in the lineup? Again, let's go in a time machine. Martinez takes ground balls at first during the year, a la like David Ortiz, Big Papi, right? Right? Okay. I'd rather have Martinez at first and my Gold Glove outfield intact with an excellent hitter in left. This could have ramifications come time Benintendi is a free agent. Yeah, Moreland is hurt. He can't swing. Exactly. I'm telling you right now, if I'm Andrew Benintendi, because I'm a vindictive human being at times, I'm going to play my heart out when I get in there. And then I'm going to go to my agent. And I'm going to say, especially if they do it to me again today, I'm going to go to my agent in the offseason and go, you go to them and tell them I want to be traded. I lie to you not. That's what I do. You go to them and tell them I want to be traded. And they can trade me to whatever crap team they want to. Okay? Because in a few years, I'm a free agent. As Chris goes, that's true. Al is vindictive. That's just me. That was my first thought process. I'm like, if they do it to him 2 games in a row, again, does he have brain farts once in a while? Every player does. And Chris and I have talked about that word. But he comes back with a vengeance after his brain farts. I go in the trade me. Send me to the worst team because I'm a free agent in a couple of years. I'll play hard for that bad team. Who knows? You never know about baseball. And then I'm getting my money. That is a rotten thing to do to Andrew Benintendi. It's not so much not starting him. It's you bring him into pinch hit and you don't leave him in left. That is the most asinine thing. Jake Cruz in the chat. Get traded from a team that went to the World Series. That's me. That's me, Jake. I'm going to play hard. I don't like, especially if I don't start today. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait till the year's over, and I'm going to go to my agent and let them relay my thoughts. because I'm a free agent in a few years. Your Gold Glove outfield should be kept intact. Now, they can't do what I want them to do because Martinez never took ground balls at first base during the year, like David Ortiz used to. You would rather break up your Gold Glove out. Again, they're not going to do it now. They're not going to do it, nor would I. But like Chris Anderson, I want Mookie Betts at second. Martinez would play right, and Bradley's in center, and Benintendi is in left. Either that or you sit J.D. Martinez and try to pick your spot with him. The pitching was absolutely outstanding. Kudos. I tip my cap to the pitching staffs for both teams. Eovaldi, again, if his arm doesn't fall off, has earned himself a ton of money in free agency. A ton. And rightfully so. Let's give you the Eovaldi line. Nathan Eovaldi, unbelievable pickup by the Red Sox. And Dave, what the hell is his last name? The GM/president for the Red Sox, Dombrowski. Eovaldi, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, only 1 was earned. I mean, he had the win. Kinsler is awful. That's awful. Ball game should have been over. Especially when you have Yasiel Puig running down the line, and he's literally just barely halfway to first. I get it. Your foot came out from under you. We saw the divot. My God, they showed us the divot 9 million times. 9 million times. Reset yourself and throw. And if you don't think you can make the throw, just eat the ball. 1st and 3rd. 2 outs. Make Barnes beat you. And maybe Barnes gets a base hit off of Eovaldi. We don't know. And it's still 2-2. But I'm looking forward to game 4 tonight. Again, I have to change the title, as I didn't change the title here. It should be Red Sox 2, Dodgers 3. Either way, Dodgers win by 1. So what is everyone looking forward to in this game? Chris, once again, Chris Anderson, thank you very much in the chat. Give us your lineup for people who missed out on what you had in the chat about bets and what's your defensive lineup, not necessarily the batting order. If you want, you can give us that too. And anyone else who wants to share some. I'm enjoying this World Series. Obviously, I would rather have the Red Sox win. Muncy, great job. Homer, walk-off. That's 88 was the last Dodger walk-off homer. Everyone knows who that is, hopefully. Kirk Gibson off Dennis Eckersley, former Red Sox, then playing with the Oakland Athletics. So it's going to be interesting. Game 4. I think you start Eddie Rodriguez. I hope Cora doesn't overmanage. I hope Benintendi's in the starting lineup. Because that is the biggest mistake Cora made. You pinch hit, you bring Benintendi to pinch hit. He's got to stay in to play left field. Asinine. He should be called out on that. Not a smooth move there by Cora. And I love him. I love the way he manages. I think Chris Anderson's right. He went a little too early to everybody. Again, the pitching was outstanding. So if Kinsler makes the play, do I still have my complaints about Benintendi and the way he was used? Absolutely. Do I still have some complaints about the way they yanked the pitchers and this and that and all the crazy moves? Yep. But if Kinsler makes the play, it's just me whistling through the graveyard. Okay, Christopher Anderson. Betts at second, Bradley in center, J.D. left, Devers at third, Bogart short, Benny in left, Pierce at first, Vasquez catching. I like it, Chris. I like it. From your mouth to Cora's ears. Hopefully God can relay it to Cora. And I think, again, great game. I tried the good luck charm. I went in my room, turned the radio on, laid down. Didn't work. Well, it did work for the foul ball that Muncy hit a few innings prior to the home. That was unbelievable. They played a doubleheader. Think about that. Game 3 of the World Series was basically a doubleheader. Outstanding. As Anderson, I knew what you meant. He says JD and Wright, mistype. I knew what you meant, Christopher. I knew what you meant. So we saw a doubleheader. I don't know how many people stayed up and watched the whole thing. I watched, watched to the majority of it. I'm looking forward to tonight. I hope the Red Sox win. I don't mind they went all out to win. I disagreed with the Fox announcers when they kept going, well, what about tomorrow? Both teams, regardless of the manager's moves, bad base running, we saw bad base running by both teams. We saw clutch hitting at the end. We saw a wild 13th inning that I have never seen, as they kept saying, not even, well, in Little League maybe, and T-ball definitely, when you coach that. Great pitching by both sides. Some really good defensive plays, some poor defensive plays. We saw it all in that game. Jay Cruz, 18 innings. How many times has that happened? I don't think ever in the World Series. Or very rarely. That game ended when I finally go to turn the radio on in my room to lay down. My dad's still watching it in the living room. It's after 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As Chris Anderson says, never. Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty sure they said they didn't mention anything of that ever happening. And it was intense. When you get to that point, no matter what you think about the length of baseball games, longest baseball game before was 15 innings. Chris says, Christopher Anderson. That was just intense because after each inning, each batter, especially with Eovaldi on the mound, I'm sitting there going, every time the Red Sox didn't score, I'm like, he's got to get through one more inning. He's got to get through one more inning. And I knew that it was his game to win or lose when he came in. And he's earned himself a ton of money, Nathan Eovaldi, as long as his arm does not fall off. Christopher Anderson and anyone left in the chat, do you think Eovaldi's done for the series now? Do you think he can possibly throw any more innings? Maybe in a Game 7? And I hope it doesn't go to a Game 7. I hope the Red Sox win the next 2. I don't want to see it go 7. Unless you're guaranteeing me the Red Sox win in a thriller. Even then, I don't want it to go 7. So, any final thoughts in the chat? Thank you very much to everyone. We'll go through our thank yous in a moment. Hats off to the Dodgers. Great win. They needed it. The series is now 2-1 Red Sox. Chris Anderson says he will be available in Game 6 and 7. So it's been, to me, I've enjoyed this World Series. Again, if you're a baseball fan and you might think the games are too long at times, and we all do, this is the World Series. That tension, if you like tension, aka playoff hockey, that was it last night. Chris says that's 3 and 4 days rest for Eovaldi. Yeah, so he could pitch out of the pen most likely. Now, Chris and I, again, before I leave, we've discussed at work. We're big Red Sox fans. I'd like to see them re-sign Nathan Eovaldi. Joe Kelly and Kimbrel. I'd like to see them re-sign everyone. Kimbrel, though, as we've talked about at work, depends how much money. And then, closers, eventually they fall off. And it might be time that he falls off. But that's for another time. Kelly has been up and down. If you can get him at a reasonable price, I'd keep him. I don't know who else, position players. As Chris says, Eovaldi must be a re-sign. I think so. He's just, his stuff he has is unfreaking believable. Maybe it's lightning in a bottle, but he's always shown he's had talent. And now maybe everything's gelling. As Chris Anderson chat says, he did everything you asked, a gamer. Those are the guys I want. That's why Kelly, I'd like to keep Kelly also, and he had his ups and downs this year, but he loves playing in Boston, excuse me. And he's a gamer. Kimbrel, he's going to want a ton of money. And, you might, closers, you can go in a different direction. So, if I could keep all 3 at a reasonable price, and there's never a reasonable price, it's baseball, I would. I think you can definitely sign Eovaldi. You have to. Not make or break, but I'd like it. Kelly, Kimbrel can go, Chris says. I'd like to keep Kelly. Again, it has to be at the right price. These guys are all going to command a ton of money. Kimbrel's going to command a ton of money. And it's up to them what they want to do. I don't think we have any position players coming up. But let's just play the World Series and see how it goes. But it's always fun to think of that stuff. It's fun to make lineups and talk about the games afterwards. And again, congrats to the Dodgers. Again, if you're a baseball fan and you don't like this game, for the intensity, you can't match the intensity. Todd has joined us in the chat. Thank you. He says, not a Red Sox fan, but so sorry last night. Rooting for y'all. Kinsler was playing a drunk last night. He makes a great stab on that ball, okay? He keeps it out of the outfield. The runner cannot score. And then, again, his leg, I get it. The grass came out from under him. We all saw the divot. The divot's one of the most famous things in baseball now. He had plenty of time to reset himself and throw to first. In times of intensity, crisis, whatever you want to say, the person who stays calm most likely gets the job done. And then the other point, if Ian Kinsler does not think he can make the throw, eat the ball. Eat the ball. First and third, 2 outs, a 205 hitter coming up. And make Barnes beat you. We don't know if Barnes flies out like he does to end the inning. Maybe he gets a base hit and they tie it up anyway, but we'll never find out. Yes, Eovaldi in a few innings later made a great play up the middle. I jokingly turned to my dad and said, yeah, he just didn't want Kinsler to field it. You're right. I forgot about that. Todd says, wasn't just the error, the base running and not sliding into home. You know what's funny? Again, we talked about that earlier, Todd, and thank you for joining us. The throw is up the third base line. Had it been up the first base line, he scores easily. The center fielder, Bellinger, did a really nice job of setting himself to throw towards the plate. I was up, Chris. You could have come over. I was up. I was up. We got to do a show, you and I, Chris, live here from the compound. Yeah, Red Sox fan, the bunker. Chris says, I could have brought coffee and donuts. Oh, you mean today? Yeah. Though I'm in my PJ bottoms. As he says, I mean this morning. Yeah, we could have done it. That would have been fun. I didn't even think of that. That would have been fun. But yeah, the plate at the plate, again, watching it over. I don't know when he starts his slide, though, Todd, because he's really tagged out well in front of home plate. Good point, Todd. Does he cut to the more the third base side, more the third base foul side and try to slide around that way? Because he cut to the end, does he cut to the out? You know? Kinsler, and again, Chris, I work with Chris Anderson. We talk about this at work. He's been, we're not Monday morning quarterbacking here. You can believe me, not believe me. We talk about this stuff at work. He's killed. We did not want, we would have went with Betts at second. I don't care what he can't be any worse than freaking Kinsler. Again, he's made some nice plays in the playoffs, and he made some stupid, and he's killing you at the plate. He's giving you nothing at the plate. I know Betts went hitless. I get that. But you basically took Andrew Benintendi out of the game. Chris says Kinsler was meat. Throne beat him by a wide margin. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know where he makes his I don't know where he starts his slide. It could be a Willie Mays Hayes, slides and never gets to the plate. When in major leagues, the first one, he slides the second, he's short. But we've talked about that, Todd, where I would not have sent Kinsler. That's one where I question. But the one when Leon doubles late in the game in extra innings when everyone's tired, I would have sent Nunez around third. make them make 2 throws to the plate. So I'm the yin and the yang, you know. And the Kinsler thing comes on hindsight because I saw the replay. We didn't get, and even on the replay, you're not getting the view of the ball is fairly deep, but the center fielder for the Dodgers did a great job of adjusting his body to make his momentum coming forward to throw to the plate. Was it a great throw? I'll say yes because he got the guy out, but in reality, no. But it was up the third baseline and not up the first baseline. Todd says, kind of feel like a loss like that can either strengthen or completely break a team in a series. We shall see tonight. Yes, we shall. I don't think it's going to break them because the Red Sox are really good at rebounding. This is a really one of the more professional type teams the Red Sox have had, where they're just, okay, that it's over and we move on to the next game. Again, Chris and I are on the same page. Don't send Kinsler, you send Nunez. Now, Chris, is your thought process, just to go over it again, I'm pretty sure we already did, but for Todd and anyone else who jumps in the watching or jumps in the chat, late in the game, my thought process, one, it's a double down the line. It's 2 outs. Nunez is off on contact. Again, we don't see where he is when he hits third and the ball's coming in, but you have to make 2 good throws, because if you let the Puig ball go through, he's safe. Nunez is safe. To me, that throw looks like it's slightly off target. The catcher's going to have to come away from home plate more towards the first base side. That's why I'm sending him in that situation. Players are tired, not just physically, but mentally. The stress of the game. And I'm sending him. I'm in total agreement with Christopher Anderson. But that was my thought process on that. And as Todd says, we shall see. As Chris says, double down the line, 2 outs, ball carrying away from Puig. You need 2 good throws. Exactly. I agree. Again, the Red Sox still up 2-1. It's an epic game. We saw good fielding, bad base running. The most, my God, strange play. That 13th inning was bizarre to see 2 teams basically score in similar fashion on bad infield play. And then a walk-off homer by the Dodgers and Muncy, who had almost homered 2 innings before when he just went foul. And then he homers off of Eovaldi in the bottom of the 18th to win it 3-2. I put 2-1. I apologize. I hadn't had my cup of coffee in the title. Todd says, who pitches game 4? I go Eddie Rodriguez. He threw to 1 batter. I want to say 7 to 9 pitches? I guess I could look that up. I'm not. If we go to Rodriguez? Oh, right here. Box score. Duh, Al. The box score. Oh, they don't give you pitches on the MLB. He didn't throw many pitches. We'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go nuts with it. He threw to 1 batter. I think he can start. Again, unless he has horrible numbers somehow against certain types of batters. Okay, we'll put it this way, Todd, Chris, and anyone left in the chat. Who do you have more faith, regardless, if you're a Red Sox fan or not? Pomerantz, who I always call Pomegrants. Pomerantz, and I don't mean it out of anything bad. I just mispronounce his name, unfortunately. I have more faith in Rodriguez than Pomerantz. Pomerantz is going to be first out of the pen because you have not all those arms are going to be tired. I mean, you can't use David Price, I don't think. I'm not using Chris Sale out of the pen unless, again, I'm not using Chris Sale out of the pen unless I think I can really. I'm not using Chris Sale out of the pen. You still have Kelly. Again, all the regular relievers only threw an inning, so to me, they're all available. It's like Price and Eovaldi are not available. That's the thing I like that Cora does. Hey, this is the World Series. I'm going to use starters out of the pen. We want to see Eddie threw 6 pitches. Thank you, Chris. So to me, that's who I'm going to start. I believe that's who they'll start. Todd says Rodriguez for sure. Sucks that Evaldi, Price, and Sales unavailable. Evaldi's earned himself a ton of money, but he wants to win. He's just such a gamer. I love him so much. And you know what? I'm happy for Price too. I'm not a big Price fan, but I'm very happy. One, I'm a Red Sox fan, so I want to see him do well. But he's gotten that issue off of his back. You know, he has that confidence now. And until Evaldi, Price had the best pitching performance and still does. I mean, Price was outstanding in that game in 6 innings. Eddie, then Pomerantz combined, they need to give you 7 or 8 innings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pomerantz, they say his velocity's up, and that's why they put him on the roster. I don't have any faith in him, being honest with you. I've watched him serve up way too many bad pitches this year. Now, again, they say his velocity's up, so maybe that makes a difference when he throws his junk. I'm looking forward to Game 4. Mr. Utah Mike, how are you, my friend? Check out that channel. I have to ask you, Mr. Utah Mike, have you started your Stratomatic PC tournament, or not tournament, the season, and are you going to put any games up on your channel? You're playing as the 61 Yankees. I look forward to it. Hopefully you do. As Mr. Utah Mike says, good morning to everyone. He says, good morning, Al. Tough night. At least it finished a little after 1 a.m. here. It was after 3 a.m. here. And I tried everything. I went to I have all my little quirky things I do. Ask Chris, I won't watch Celtics games because every time I watch they lose. I feel like I mush them. I did the different TVs. I went in at the end into my bedroom, turned the radio on. I used the radio trick. Didn't work. So I think we still have one more radio trick in us to try to get the good mojo. It was a great game. You saw everything in that game. Great pitching. That was very enjoyable to me. Buehler was outstanding. Sandy Koufax gives you a standing ovation. You know you've done something right. See, that's pitching. The guy went 7 innings, and he pitched well. Now, does it always happen? No, but my God, let's go back a series. The Houston manager, Chris will know his name. I forget it. My God, that guy overmanaged his pitching staff. I was so happy in that other series when he took Keuchel out of the game. I was like, thank you, the Red Sox can't hit him. And his thing was, well, we don't want him to go through the lineup more than 3 times. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The guy was in a zone. The Red Sox had an opportunity early. They didn't knock him out. So, Mr. Utah Mike says, yes, I've been playing a bit, mostly off-channel. Have to try and put a game or 2 on there. That'd be awesome. Hinch. AJ Hinch, right? Yeah, he definitely would not manage my baseball team. Yeah, you sit there and you go, I know the game's changed, but seriously, starting pitching in the playoff, unless your pitcher's awful, you're yanking him. Okay, when Roberts yanks his pitchers in the first 2 games, they weren't pitching well. So, Mr. Utah Mike, Buehler, Ferris Bueller reference. Yes, it is. Bueller, he was outstanding. Outstanding. That's someone who gets it. And I see that after 7, he's done his job, and you go to your closer, and Jansen blew it. Bradley comes through once again. Again, Bradley doesn't hit much for average, but it seems in these playoffs, when he does hit the ball, it's a huge hit. As Jansen gives up the homer to Bradley to tie it up in the top of the 8th. So we have some new people joining us in the chat. We'll stick a little longer as Todd and Mr. Utah Mike has joined us. We've discussed who we want playing, Christopher Anderson and I. Chris came up with a great. That would have been cool, Chris. That would have been cool if come on. I would have had to put pants on though, as I'm in my PJs. We've discussed we want Benintendi out there today. We've discussed Cora. When you pinch it with Benintendi, he's got to stay in the game. Got to stay in the game. Benintendi's no slouch in the field or at the plate. I want my Gold Glove outfield intact for this game. If not, Betts plays second. I'm in agreement with Chris. As Chris Anderson said, pants are optional. Yeah, you could have come over with pajama bottoms. Mr. Utah Mike says, Cora might have gotten out-managed in a National League ballpark. He made mistakes. Roberts is not a thrilling manager to me either. And my friend Christopher Anderson, who's in the chat, we work together, had mentioned he didn't think he was a good manager, and this was before the playoffs. And I basically see it, during the playoffs, and I go, you're right, Chris. He is not a good manager. And especially when the Fox announcers, these are things afterwards you hear, when you don't have your best 3 hitters in the starting lineups to start off the game in Fenway Park, I don't give a crap what the sabermetrics and all that nonsense says. Yeah. Did they have great offensive output with those lineups? No. Play your best players and hope they make plays. This goes back to Cora. Mitch Moreland is not one of your best players right now. He's hurt. And again, I knew they were going to bring up the 364 thing. That happened early in the playoffs. You notice they didn't say in the World Series, in the American League Championship Series. No, they go, his playoff average is 364. I don't want to see him. You played him, you didn't play Benintendi. I get it, you want JD Martinez in the lineup. Okay, but once you pinch hit Benintendi and you knew they were going to, he's got to stay in the lineup and play left. So, as Chris Anderson says, I love when Al says I'm right. Well, you were right. So I appreciate when people in the chat or anywhere, we know you're discussing something, they bring up a point, they can explain it and lay the knowledge upon you. I appreciate knowledge. Mr. Utah Mike, they're playing strat managers with the whole balance against lefty-righty and making all these lineup adjustments. You're right. See, it's fun to do when you're playing dice or video baseball, and even then I don't do it a lot. But you got to play. Here's the other thing. Now that Mr. Utah Mike says this, disregard whatever team. To me, my best hitter hits third. So we'll use the Red Sox as an example. JD Martinez, right? JD Martinez is going to hit third. Not fourth, third. He's one of my best hitters. He's driven in the most runs. I want him to make sure he gets up in the first inning. By hitting third, he's guaranteed to get max amount of at-bats. Max amount of at-bats. Phantomatics joined us in the chat. He says, damn, I missed this. Well, we're going to go a little farther. I want to end it pretty soon, but we're having a lot of fun talking baseball. Check out Phantomatic. Phantomatic, when you're ready to stream, I'm giving you a request. Can you do a skins game, a one-round skins game? Pick out 4 of your golfers and do that. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it. Have fun with it. You're going to do a great job with your History Maker golf. So, and just sometimes with games, any games, I do the same thing. I overanalyze everything. I say, oh, I should talk about this, talk about that. I mean, like my video channels, my games I'm playing. As my nose starts to run again, it's really cool. Look away, people. Don't judge me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Phantomatic. Mr. Utah Mike says, a la Judge, bingo. Not second. No, oh, yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah, no, my best hitter hits third. You see teams do it all the time. Their best hitter batting fourth. Makes no sense. You want your best hitter to be up in the first inning. It's freaking, that's where you play strat manager. I put all my best hitters, it's not shocking, I lump them all together because they're my best hitters. Mr. Utah Mike, I used to love to watch Skins game on Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, that was fun. I love the Skins game. That's my favorite golf. That and match play. I like match play. But my Skins game I'll sit and watch. I just love it. Mr. Utah Mike, batting second. No, I agree. Best, I don't know. That's my thoughts on the best hitter. So, again, I'll go back to the Red Sox. I'm a Red Sox fan. So, you make sure Martinez is in the lineup, but yet he doesn't bat in the first inning possibly, which he didn't. I can't remember. Anyway, you got to make sure your best hitter bats in the first inning, also maxing his total at-bats for the game. And people, well, it's only possibly one more at bat. As the phone rings, and we will go to phone delay. I shall be back in a moment. Then we'll call it a stream. We'll go a little more. And we are back. Thank you for your patience. Had to take a phone call there. Oh, Christopher, making fun of my flip phone. I will never trade in my flip phone. I might get a new phone. I have messages from my mom on there. Never. I have to get those adjusted. That's funny, though. I do have my old. You know what? It's stuck together with tape, too. As Mr. Utah Mike says, embarrassing Al stories from Chris. Go. As Chris keeps the chat amused. As he says, I don't have a smartphone. No, I don't. But I'm going to get one. I don't want a phone smarter than me. I know we can save them. I don't want to lose them. So I know, Chris, we can save them. So I'll tell you who was pissed up in heaven. My mom. She loves Andrew Benintendi, and he didn't play. Anyhow, so it's been a really fun chat. Let me go through the thank yous. The weather's supposed to get really bad here and windy, but I've not. It got windy last night. It's just raining now. Got to run some errands before this horrible weather comes in. Who knows? You never know, you know. So thank you to Christopher Anderson. It would have been, yeah, I didn't even think of it. Coming over, coffee and donuts, dual live stream with a co-host live. That would have been fun. We got to do that sometime. Thank you to Mr. Utah Mike. Check out his channel, All Things Baseball. Greatly appreciate everyone who spent some time with us today or later. Thank you to Fanomatic. Please subscribe to all these channels, as he's going to have some History Maker Golf coming up. Thank you to Todd. First time I believe I've seen Todd in the chat, and he had a lot of good baseball. He contributed a lot. Thank you. It's always fun to have contributors in the chat. Jake Cruz, thank you very much. Fandom D Saint, check out that wonderful channel, All Things Entertainment, Movies, TV, Pop Culture. MP Fox just started his channel up with his son. It's absolutely marvelous. Please subscribe to that. Manny, thank you very much. Another good friend of the channel. Always fun to have you contribute. Baseball Demos with Dave. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, please do so. Another wonderful retro baseball channel. Ryan, thank you very much. As Ryan says, I keep getting flashbacks of Kinsler doing Kinsler things. Yeah, not good. SNFS Stratomatic 624. Thank you very much. Check him out. Johnny Be Crazy, another wonderful TV and movie review channel. Big Game of Thrones fan. Westworld as well as Fandom D Saint. The same thing. And that is everyone. Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. Hope everyone enjoyed it. I bet you there are people thinking, oh, the Red Sox lost. Al's not going to come on. Nope, I'm going to come on. As Chris says, we will do that. Yes, we will. Maybe we'll do one of these Saturdays in the morning. Whatever, random thoughts. Sports, movies, TV, entertainment. So that would be a lot of fun. Because I can set up that other mic. Moni G's joined us! Oh, the lovely Moni G. How are you, Moni? As we're coming to an end, Moni. I've gone. How long have we gone? We had fun. It was a fun 86 minutes. So what's that? An hour and 20, right? An hour 26. A lot of fun baseball chat. Again, if you like baseball and you didn't enjoy this game, and the team I root for lost, the intensity was unbelievable. It went 18 innings. Unbelievable, the intensity. It was just tremendous. You saw great pitching. You saw clutch hitting at the end. You saw horrible base running with some good, actually horrible base running. You saw some good defensive plays and some really bad defensive plays. As Chris says, we can't go 86 minutes, bad omen. All right, we'll stay on for a little bit more. Because 80, oh, yes, oh my God. Yes, a very bad omen, I agree. As Moni G, the lovely Moni G says, top of the morning to you, Al. Sorry I missed your early birdie. Well, we'll stay on a little more. How goes the teaching, Moni G, out in the Michigan area? She does a wonderful, she's on a stream with Lady Wolverton. They do a great job. Another fun channel, Lady Wolverton's Den, Game of Thrones. It's amazing how they remember all this book stuff. I read the books. I remember some stuff, not like some of these channels. They're incredible. So, as Chris says, bad omen 86. Yes, it is. We've now got 87. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes. We'll go to it. Truth be told, I just look up the final. I think you guys do a great job on that channel, though. Moni G, we got to have you on Chat with Al one of these nights. Be fun to have you on a one-on-one with Moni G. That'd be pretty fun. So, anyhow, Red Sox lose 3-2 in an epic 18 innings, longest game in World Series history. Again, think about that. Game 3 was a doubleheader, basically. Incredible. Nathan Eovaldi pitches hard out. He didn't deserve the loss, but someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. And unfortunately, the team I root for, they lost. Hats off to Muncy. Walk-off homer, bottom of the 18th. He almost homered 2 innings prior? Down the right field line, just missed, and Eovaldi got him on the strikeout. So, and that crazy 13th inning, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Unbelievable. The weirdest things happened in that 13th inning. As Moni G says, insanity, I tell you, insanity. And on that note, we've gone 88 minutes. Morgan Magic, that's a good omen. I like the 88. They didn't win the playoffs, but that was one of my favorite baseball years. 1988, Joe Morgan, Walpole Joe Morgan takes over the team. They go on a run, and they win the division. They got swept by the Oakland A's in the playoffs. And Joe Torre was supposed to come in for an interview to manage for the Red Sox after McNamara was fired, but Joe Morgan, the team took off under him. And he would win 2 division titles in 88 and 90, and was then fired for finishing a close 3rd place. And he had to find out on the radio that he got fired, because that's the way the Red Sox do things, especially back then. As Moni G says, "Ah, thanks, Al. I'd love to hang out live anytime." Cool, cool. We will have to do that, and we can discuss whatever. You know, you can bring the topics, and it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, alrighty, folks. Al, Red Sox fan, has to run some errands and start the laundry. And we're gonna have a little dice baseball coming up. If you want to see me play a little strat, oh my God, I'm addicted to rolling dice now. It's so much fun. God, I forgot how much fun it is. And we might go actually first with our 67 Retro World Series replay, tied up at 2. Unbelievable. No home team has won a game in my 67 Retro replay with Tony Calignero, the what if Tony C and Sparky Lyle played. We actually might do that first and then do a little strat, and then we'll play a little, oh, we got Chat with Dog tonight at 10 p.m. after Citadel for trivia. Well, that's going to be interesting. Me watching the game, listening to my father scream at the TV. My dad was funny. He came in last night early this morning and started talking to me about the game, and I motioned I'm online, and which is fine. I don't care. I just didn't want him to be emotional and go, "Oh, the bleepity bleep Red Sox." So, which he wasn't. Anyway, I love listening to my dad watch sports. It's hilarious. He gets so passionate about it, and good for him. Good for him. Let him enjoy. Thank you, everyone. Once again, I already went through my thank yous. We're going to do it one more time because I love everyone so much. Moni G, thank you very much. Christopher Anderson, Mr. Utah Mike, thank you. Phantomatic, thank you. And check out all the content creators. All you do is you go to the 3 dots next to their name, to the right, click on it, go to their channel. Todd, thank you very much. Jake Cruz, thank you. Fandom D Saint, always thank you, thank you. MP Fox, Manny, Ryan Mata, Baseball Demos, SNFSSOM63SATY, right? Bay City Rollers, thank you for that song. Johnny B. Crazy, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Health and happiness. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Watch out for the curveball in the dirt. And if your team is playing in this game coming up, pray that your managers don't overmanage. Let the players play. Anyway, enjoy. I hope my team wins, but if not, oh well, what can you do? You know what's coming, folks. You know what's coming. What's that? Peace! God bless.